So
Good evening,
I was just going to make this first part kind of brief, but I wanted us all just to say who we are. So my name's Sleestack, and I like to mess with stuff a lot. Anyways, I'm a little incoherent, so bear with me a little bit. I haven't slept for 3 days or something like that. But we do have a project happening on the mezzanine level. It's if you get downstairs or up the escalator, depending upon which way you go. Yeah, we're going to be here all weekend. Basically, go past the security booth, take a right, and we're down there. But come on down and make free phone calls all over the planet and do some other fun things. And we're going to add features literally every day throughout the conference, so nobody gets bored with it. Anyhow, my background's basic. I like to mess with things. I started messing with computers in 1980. Done bits and pieces of this, that, and the other in mechanical and optical and hardware, software design. And this is my cool project sidekick thing. So, next.
How you doing? I'm Beeve. Me and Sleestack actually started Telefreak. And what year was it? I don't even remember now.
It's 2003.
And basically, it was kind of never really meant to be a club or anything like that. It just sort of kind of ended up that way. And we all kind of started teaming together on different projects, writing software together, like GIDS, different panels, and I wrote like iWar and stuff like that and we, do lots of war dialing and strange stuff. But anyways, so we originally started out as kind of a free voicemail, anonymous voicemail kind of system that, people could use, being if you're a drug dealer or whatever, who knows what people use it for nowadays. But so people could get on there and, set up free voicemail accounts and use it anonymously and not worry about any kind of logging or anything, because we don't enable any kind of logging. And then it kind of starts expanding out into conferences. And we started inviting a lot of people to call in from pretty much all over the world so that we could all discuss like projects about Asterisk, any kind of general hacking kind of stuff, phone freaking, whatever that we felt
Cooking.
like. Cooking was a big one. So.
Yeah, actually, we met on the
original
sorry,
inception to be something about robots having sex, if I recall?
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. Originally, it was going to be pretty much a line that you called where you got some text-to-speech back, and it was kind of like this weird
telephonic.
Yeah, an
anime-ish.
interesting Easter egg on the Telefreak PBX, if anyone's interested.
Yeah, it's still there, isn't it? Yeah.
You can dial 69 as a hidden Easter egg.
No, it's not hidden anymore.
No,
Good
it's
job.
totally
Well, it was,
public now, yeah.
but
Thanks a lot.
Well, that kind of happens occasionally,
Well, not as a shameless plug or anything, but I met Beeve through the Death Row Cluster. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Anybody know what that is?
Oh, sweet.
Hell
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing because actually there aren't that many open VMS systems that you can mess with
That are
out
reliable.
there. And by the way, Open VMS doesn't have any random number generator. Don't know if you knew that, but anyhow, I like messing with it a lot. And Beeve runs a place. He owns a place actually.
Right.
He started that a long
And
time
we pretty
ago.
much met through that, and then you
Yeah, we got in
started
a
bringing
fight.
up telephone stuff. Yeah. I think
Yeah, we got in a fight on the
Nerd
node
fight.
system.
Right.
Nerd fight.
Yeah. It's a little skirmish,
Yeah.
Anyhow, we like to hang out in the telco channel there in the node system, which is essentially a text BBS for the most
BBS.
part.
Yeah.
And it's internal to the Open VMS cluster there. But we used to hang out in telco and talk about this, that, and the other. And we had another friend named Robot who was like, hey, man, this Asterisk thing's pretty cool. This is about 2003 or so. And so we started messing with it. And found
And
it
this
to
was
be
when it was really incredibly buggy software.
Brand
But
spanking.
then again,
kind of still is.
I was
but
just about to
yeah.
say.
That's all right. I love it.
When did that change?
Yeah.
It's
you
always in
wonder why
beta,
I
but
don't
it's
use
cool.
it.
So is Microsoft Windows. So yeah. no comparison there. But anyhow, we took on Asterisk as just something interesting to look into, and it turned out that it would do all kinds of things that we had always wanted to do as kids that we would have gotten thrown in jail as kids for doing.
Actually, ironically, the only reason I started using it was I couldn't get my my SIP phone to work, and I had a choice between SIP proxy or Asterisk to use it, and I of course picked the much more complex one to set up and get working. So,
Well, that's generally how you do that. When you
yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's introduce everybody else. Let's
All
go
right.
down the line, man.
Guess it'd be my turn. For the 3 people out there who actually listen to Off the Hook, you might recognize me. I'm not Kevin. And And I kind of came into the scene on Telefreak once they started getting their act together and got the conference together. And I was more
when
or
did
less.
that happen? When did we get?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like when did
And,
he show
um,
Does he
up?
speak of?
I don't quite recall.
I was kind of brought in as the guy who breaks everything. And especially GIDS software.
Oh man,
I can't
Bastard.
name the number of times I was banned from the conference for breaking
Yeah,
all the
like
panels.
at
did
least a dozen times now. I
Yeah,
swear.
At least.
Still doesn't have a big panel.
Yeah, they took away my admin
yeah,
rights.
yeah, we
because
took
I
away his
kept breaking
admin
all of
rights,
it.
yet he still gets us onto panels at Hope. So who knows?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, actually, Telefreak was launched at Hope in 2004.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a combination of things that happened, but essentially we came out here to meet up because we had never met, and I didn't know what Beav even looked like. I didn't know what I looked like either, and so we ended up like meeting up in the lobby and went to the conference and saw a bunch of great stuff, of course, and been coming back ever since. Sorry to see it go. I have heard though that technically the hotel pen is going to be around for years,
Forever.
so whatever.
So much for the last Hope.
To ruin it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm the rodent. I go by Ratman or whatever. I always have names like that. Let's see, I've known this guy for a long time. What, 10, 15 years, something like that? 10 years. 10 years. So when they started up these projects, I mean, I'm involved in a bunch of things, amateur radio, support the 2600 IRC network. And so when these guys started up this thing, I always tried to help out wherever I could, whether it was breaking their stuff or offering some equipment or bandwidth or whatever, whatever I can to help them out. So also some of the fun things is I get to kick this guy when he gets out of control. I'm like a moderator, so I also sit out there to encourage people to talk and use it and encourage intelligent conversation and then get rid of the non-intelligent conversation. So I help out in some of those respects with Telefreak and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
And Jay Falcon, you want to say anything real quick?
Sure.
So we can move on.
I'm Jay Falcon. Basically, I found Telefreak, what, about 2004, 2005. Mostly through the Death Row Cluster, Telefreak. Got involved with the community. It's really become a community in there,
Yeah, it
in
is.
our IRC channel and places like that. But even more so on a teleconference, because you can talk to these people. I mean, most people just sit there and they type, and you got instant messenger, you have IRC and all that, but you never get to hear the voice.
yeah, you don't
And
get any
I-
depth until you talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back in the day when I was freaking, when, post or pre-internet, I guess. They were, we had two Alliance teleconferences, and we would call 0700 numbers or 1700 numbers all the time, and I was in there with like Vaxbuster and Rogue Agent, all these people, and Telefreak sort of brought some of that back because you can develop that community again, and really have a good time doing it. And so I got more involved with the community. Started, with Sleestack and Beav. We both have our interests in older computers, older systems. The VMS system, X25. With Rodent, there's radios, of course, and he's been around the block a few times. And then the rest of it just sort of all came together. And much like Rodent, I'm sort of a fill-in guy. We all have our strengths and, draw from different backgrounds, but all comes to one. And just like we have Project Telefreak now, it just really kind of pulled it out of the hat at the last second.
Yeah, one time or another too, and most of the time, none of us really live anywhere near each other,
No.
other than these two guys.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, and the only
that's
means
new,
of
so,
communication was
Well,
like,
that's only in recent times.
yeah.
I'm good. Hi. Yeah, I'm generally the asshole that tends to kick people off of IRC and
He's
off
one
the
type of
panel,
con
and
god.
anybody who tends to be a general nuisance. I'm responsible for writing about 90% of the software that you see on Telefreak, aside from Asterisk itself, which Digium has done an awesome job on.
if you say so.
These guys they came up with a really cool system really early on. I got a chance to be a part of it back in 2003. I had just graduated high school, and I was just kind of playing around with Asterisk, just tinkering with VoIP. Came across 2600net, just kind of played around with that. And Rodent introduced me to Sleestack and Beav at, actually I don't think he introduced me to Beav at the following DEF CON, but 2 DEF CONs later I met Beav. but I'm from the West Coast, and I generally attend DEF CON. I'm not really a New York side. But yeah, it's been a really interesting ride so far, and I'm
And
really.
you used to call in very early on and hang out with
Oh yeah, like
Tron.
I used to hang on for
All of
hours.
us would hang
and
out and
hours.
have a good old time, and we were all
Like,
noobs.
I
Yeah, you listen
remember-
to Tron endlessly, dude.
been
Yeah,
doing it
like
all since
I'm
we
one
were
of few
diapers.
people who are still in the conference world who actually know of Tron.
Fortunately, he's still in jail. I
Is
checked.
that officialized
in
yet?
custody.
Like I know that his release
Bureau
date
of
is
Prisons
sometime this
until
month,
December.
but if
I didn't think it was
anybody
gonna
can
release till
verify this
February.
for me,
Wow.
I'd appreciate it.
Well, you feel like you're in danger or something? Or?
Well,
Sid'll
that
protect
guy's
you.
pretty spooky. I've
All
kicked
right.
him off of maybe 24 payphones and
He's
Sebastopol.
used to that, though.
Well, this is why we have the world's only hacker dog.
That's Sid.
He specializes in packet sniffing and intrusion detection, and he does do authentication once you've been packet sniffed. So,
Nice. Nice.
so he takes care of it. You know,
And Rodent sent me a great picture of Sid rack mounted on a 19-inch rack.
he has 19-inch and 23-inch convertible rails. He's pretty versatile. He works on pretty much anything.
So you guys mind if I give a little background on what we're doing right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
I
for
think
it,
we
man.
should go ahead and do that.
Yeah, you can probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll do
We'll
my
see.
best.
Yeah, I can probably do more technical, but you can give the broader stroke.
Right on. Well, just to go back to the original intention of Telefreak in the first place for me.
Robots having
personally.
sex.
Well, that was early, but the original intention behind the voicemail system was really where it started was to kind of develop a Swiss bank account for voicemail where we don't know who you are and we don't want to know. And people have criticized that a little bit here and there, not too heavily, but a little bit, just being like something that terrorists might use or whatever. And
Well, fear the people that fear your privacy.
well, the thing is that the terrorists use AT&T's networks all the time, so I don't really see what the point is. Whatever you think a terrorist is. So,
So
anyways, the whole idea was an anonymity, right? And so anyhow, we're extending that idea here, and also one other part of it, which is essentially Telefreak is built out of used and acquired machinery. Beeve donates the bandwidth because he's got it, and also the electricity as well, and a lot of expertise, of course. And then we all donate our time and energy and ideas. So this project here at Hope this year is similar, and we tried to work on it here and there before we got here, but essentially we all kind of knew it was going to happen at the last second because no matter how well you plan something, it just doesn't necessarily go that way, although the effect can be the same.
Right.
So when we got here, we actually started working on it here and there. I waited for the network to come up, and
Several times.
several times, which is it's working awesome now. Those guys are dynamite.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, definitely. Thank you very much if you're out
Props
there.
and
But,
knock.
The knock guys. Yeah.
yeah, Knox awesome.
Hitman.
Yeah. So anyhow, basically everything that's built here at the conference that you can use at your leisure is made out of garbage, and I mean that.
Well,
It's
except-
actually
except
used
the server I got in Dallas. I mean, that's
right. No, totally. I mean everything on site that we set up here is
recycled telephones.
it is. It's all recycled.
recycled phones.
It's all used or
phones.
given to us or just happened upon it or whatever. Even the Ethernet cables, which we had to replace quite a few of. So some of those are new. But anyhow, the whole theory behind it was just to create something fun and useful for the conference. And so I'm hoping that we actually are achieving that in
On a
some small
shoestring
part. So,
budget.
Yeah, if you guys think of any features and whatnot, we can always get this guy to code it.
yeah, give us your ideas. We'll do them. We'll try to do them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't
Yeah.
point at me.
Yeah, basically, I'm the weirdo who just kind of sits there, takes up your ideas, and kind of makes them work.
And then you ship them back to us, and then we break them.
Yeah, and then you break it, and then I bitch and drink more beer and throw beer bottles.
We
at
send you beer, dude. Like,
Well, essentially, it's split up into two separate servers. We have a server here locally, here at the NOC, for services like outbound dialing, international dialing, whatnot. And then we're also kind of starting to integrate some little games and some little funness into it so that, for instance, like we have just at the local server here, if you can just tell the system, just dial something interesting. And you might get a Virgin Airlines mobile phone where, it calls up and says, we're connecting you to the aircraft now. Or, you might get
Eiffel Tower
Eiffel Tower
payphones,
payphones.
yes.
And so we have a whole list and randomly picks out. So even if you don't know, anybody you want to call. Just let the system decide to do it for you.
You will
and
be
then
talking
you
to
might
someone.
find yourself surprised